comments below. Right, moving on. And moving on to James Gunn. So this is quite interesting to me because he, of course, is directing The Suicide Squad. And he recently revealed in a very big interview in Empire Magazine, so this month's issue of Empire Magazine is a Suicide Squad special. So he actually revealed during that interview that he was hired back at Marvel just one day after the Suicide Squad was announced, which I mean, thinking back to what happened, all those, it was a couple of years ago now. It was quite a big deal what was happening because basically, sorry, not Zack Snyder, James Gunn was fired because of tweets that came out that that they weren't good, and they were made a while ago, but he had apologized for them in the past, but no, he ended up. Marvel and Disney saying, well, Disney in particular saying we're going to have to cut ties with him. So then he went off, started talking to DC Comics, Warner Brothers in particular, and then it was announced that he was directing the Justice League. Sorry, not the Justice League. That he was directing the Suicide Squad, and after that, it was actually quite a while after it was announced that he would also be coming back to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. However, he knew, and Marvel knew, months in advance that he was going to be directing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because they literally, he's saying that he reconnected with Marvel is the word he used. He reconnected with Marvel just one day after it was announced that he was making a Suicide Squad movie, which it just shows that the kind of news cycle, we're very delayed in what goes on. A lot of things are worked out months before they're officially announced by anybody, which is kind of to be expected because there's a lot of stuff to go over. I suppose there's lots of contract stuff. They've got to work out whether he can actually come back and direct it. They've got to come up with a PR plan as well. Probably also said, well, let's wait a while before we announce this to let the whole kind of, what's the word? Let the story die out, the original story, because after a while I think people did come to their senses and did realize that it was something that was done a long time, well, not a long time ago, but something that was done in James Gunn's past. It wasn't a good thing to, they weren't funny, his tweets, and he admitted that as well, that he called himself a provocateur, but it's a bit more than that. But anyway, in the interview he went on to reveal that he had to tell Kevin Feige what he was doing, that he was doing a DC Comics movie. And when he told Kevin, Mr. Feige, the head honcho over at the Marvel Cinematic Universe at Marvel Studios, what he was doing, that he was doing a DC Comics movie, Feige asked him if it was going to be a Superman film. And he just said, please, James Gunn said, no, it's not going to be Superman, it's going to be Suicide Squad. Feige said, please, make a good movie, just make a great movie. And that to me, that just goes to show that all people really care about in this industry is, especially making comic book movies, we talk a lot about a DC Comics and Marvel rivalry, which does exist, of course. They want to make the best movies, but they are also just fundamentally massive comic book fans, and they want to see great comic book movies. That's all that matters to them, really. They would like their movies to make more money than the other companies' movies, but nobody wants to see a bad comic book movie because they're all working in the same genre, and they want the genre to continue not die out like like the Westerns did. It's something that they want to see. They want to keep on pushing, and hopefully they'll just get better and better and better. But what do you guys think of this? Are you glad? Well, first off, are you excited to see the Suicide Squad movie? Are you glad that James Gunn is back directing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Let me know in the comments below.